started yet. So
Where'd the
yeah.
breaks
Okay.
go?
Well, let me see. 1, 2, coming up on 3, 4. Unlike 4 guys out here, my hair will grow back. So, I just cut it. It was time, and it's been that way for 7 years. Just change of pace, and it'll grow back.
So where does Barkevius Mingo now after you've had him through some OTAs and the mini camp and a few days here?
I think he's over on 71 at the hotel, the Marriott over there. Oh, you're talking in reference to football. I like where he's at. You know, he's probably on pace for where a rookie should be. I would question maybe put a little caveat on that, saying that he's a guy that's transitioning from a guy with his hand in the ground to standing up. So he's spent a lot of time working on the playbook, the terminology, and for him being ready for day 1 opening camp, I think he's right where he should be.
How's Jabal doing in his transition to the new spot?
Fantastic. He was one of the surprises of OTA minicamp for me. You know, he transitioned from left to right, and now we're playing him on both sides, and everybody's worried about, well, can he stand up? Can he do this? Can he do that? And I think when you have good athletes, they can do a lot, and they're just saying, Coach, use me, put me where you want me to, and he's really done a good job of absorbing the defense and playing both sides, and he's going to be a versatile player where I can use him to move him around and use his skill to the best of his ability.
You guys talk so much about an aggressive attacking style, and it's a change from last year. Does it take time for the guys to grasp that? I know they want to do it,
Yeah.
but does it take time for them to make that transition?
I keep saying there's a learning curve, a transition period to get accustomed to what we're doing, how I call a game, how they best react to a game, what they do best. We're going to use this period, I think, to see, okay, we can do unlimited amount of stuff. I can move guys all around, or this guy is suited best for that. The players like it. I like it. What I'm hoping is the opponents don't like it. And it's a great time for us in training camp to experiment with a couple things, moving guys, position flexibility, scheme flexibility. Can this work? Will this work? So it's a learning process for me as well as them. And aggressive is, I think it's a term, but it doesn't always mean you're attacking, hitting somebody in the mouth. Sometimes it's faux pressure of showing something and doing something different to keep guys really off balance.
Ray, does your scheme sacrifice something in the run defense? And if not, how do you stop the run when everyone's attacking the quarterback?
People have said it's a read and attack, meaning defense. The quarterback is the key to this game, this league. We play run first, we really do. Our guys up front are big, strong. I love our guys up front. I hope our guys will embrace being a total defense, not just an attacking defense, not just a coverage defense, not this. I want smart football players that understand the football game, and it's a run and pass league.
Sometimes the Browns in 2009, 2010 try to be very aggressive, but a lot of times that left the secondary naked. How does that, and they give a lot of touchdown passes, so how will your defense be different?
Well, statistically, if you go back and look at this style of defense that we are employing here, we don't want that. We don't want big touchdown plays. We don't want big plays. We don't want scoring plays. And I think the history and statistically, if you look at the defenses that I'm talking about, they don't do that. Now, some of that is personnel and scheme, but to answer your question, I'm going to try to eliminate that. I mean, I don't want big plays. I'm sure everybody says that. Who does?
Right.
But we stress deep to shallow, technique, understanding what the opponent's doing. That's the number one goal, is to stop them from scoring. I'm sure Norv is saying our number one goal is to score.
Right.
So I can sit here and preach that all day long, but we've got to practice it. We've got to develop a mindset and an understanding of what are we trying to accomplish here. Well, the number one thing is get the ball back for our offense.
Ray, you know what you have on one side of the secondary with Joe Hayden. What do you think you have on the other side with the trio of Chris Owens, Buster Screen, and now the rookie Leon McFadden thrown in there?
Good competition and good depth. I hope we have a couple starters penciled in, expectations, but there's always somebody that's going to surprise you. There's going to be an injury somewhere. the more quality depth that we have, the better that we'll be. And right now I have a little comfort zone in that we've got experienced corners that can play. Now, we want to be able to play more than one, because I guarantee you teams are going to run 3 wide receivers at us, 4 wide receivers, and I keep preaching depth, quality depth because of injuries, because of personnel matchups, so you can't have too many good football players.
What are your impressions of McFadden?
You're looking forward to seeing as a battle in this upcoming camp. You can kind of sense this is going to be a good position to watch play out for a starting job.
I think I can answer both questions at the same time. Leon McFadden and position battles. Leon, just like Mingo, is a young rookie. Has a growing curve, a learning curve. I would like to play them as much as they will allow me to play them. Now, what is that? That's up to them. The position battles are, I would hope, 11 positions on defense battling for playing time, for starting time, for Pro Bowls, for backup, to make the team. I want the best 21, 22, however Coach Rob gives me, players. I want competition. I want guys pushing DeQuell. Hey, DeQuell, you may be the starter, but I'm going to take your job. Hey, I'm going to push you for playing time. The more you have of that, the better that you are.
When we first heard about,
Sorry, go ahead.
when we first heard about your defense, it sounds awesome, but I mean, are you prepared that, you know, like some of these guys might not be able to get it for game one? I mean, by game, you know, are you prepared to like go in stages, kind of? You know what I mean?
History has said to me during the lockout season, we had no practices. We opened up training camp and installing a totally new defense. It takes a little time, but at the end of the year, statistically, you know it works. And I keep preaching patience. There's a learning curve. There's an expectation. It's going from a 4-3, cover 2 style defense to a 3-4, a 5 to a 4-4. I told you we're going to be a multiple front. Move guys around. Quality depth. Position. Can Buster play free safety? Can Mingo stand up? Can Paul stand up? Can Phil Taylor drop? There's a lot of learning and expectation. Do I expect us to walk out there tomorrow and say, wow, we're great? No, but I know we're going to get better every day. And my first goal is, at our first game at home in the dog pound, the guys come up, start cheering. Okay? And then the first game, okay, we're getting better, coach. And you see the growth, because we're not going to get there today. You can't win it in the first game. But, you know, we're going to try to get better and better and better. And statistically, this defense works. I know it because I know what the numbers say. So we've got good players, and it's going to be a process. It's going to be a learning curve, and we'll get there.
Ray, when you talk statistically like that, besides points, what are you really looking?
Statistically,
Yeah.
I'm looking at numbers. I'm looking at red zone. I'm looking at third down. I'm looking at quarterback rating. I'm looking at turnovers. I'm looking at scores. I'm looking at number of big plays. There's a lot of numbers that tell me what works. And I know statistically how good this system works. Statistically, the last 9 years, is this system that I run. Last year, the #1 opponent quarterback rating, which means you give the quarterback the toughest fit, was #1. The system that this defense runs was the #1 defense in the NFL last year. The system that this runs in red zone the last 2 years was #2 and #3. Sacks, top 10. I know what the system is. I know the numbers. The numbers are high. You got to put the people in the right position, in the right place. You got to be patient. They have to understand it. I have to understand them. I know that's a lot of numbers I just threw at you, but when you go back, and it's in Elias Sports, go back and look at, well, who was the #1 team defensively against quarterbacks last year? I know who was. Who was the #1 defense last year? I know who was. Who was the #1 against red zone? Who was #2? I know who was. I know the system works. It's a matter of doing it.
When other teams play this system?
Well, the 2 that I know that call a very similar style game was last year was the Arizona defense and the Pittsburgh Steelers defense. I know that for sure.